Hello and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a really interesting framework from author Alina Chamberlain. It's basically a guide designed to help women understand the inner world of men in relationships. I mean, it's such a common feeling, right? You say one thing, he hears something totally different, and suddenly you're in the middle of a misunderstanding that just spirals. But what if there was a way to translate that language? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. And here it is. The source calls it the masculine blueprint. Now, this isn't about tired old stereotypes. Think of it more like a framework of core needs that, when they're met, help a man feel truly secure and anchored with you. Understanding this is kind of the first step to really getting a handle on your relationship dynamic.
So where do we start with this blueprint? Well, we start at the absolute foundation. The source says everything, and I mean everything, is built on two pillars: trust and respect.
You know, the source uses a very specific word here: currencies. Not feelings, not emotions, but currencies. It's like they're the tangible value being exchanged in the relationship, the very things that make him feel loved. But what does that respect actually look like when things get real?
And this is where it gets super interesting. Society already respects a man when he's winning, when he's strong. But the source argues that's not where your respect matters most. No, where it's absolutely critical is in the tough moments, when he fails, when he's vulnerable, when he feels like he has no idea what he's doing. Judging him then, well, that apparently dismantles his sense of self, but respecting him, that builds him back up.
That respect is what builds what the author calls the sanctuary of trust. This is that safe space where he can tell you his deepest fears, knowing they stay with you. The source is crystal clear on this. Sharing his secrets with your friends or family, what it calls airing dirty laundry, completely shatters that sanctuary. And once that trust is gone, man, it is incredibly hard to earn back.
All right, next up is something that can be a huge point of friction for so many couples: his need for space. The blueprint actually has a name for this: the freedom frequency.
It feels so personal, doesn't it? Like he's pushing you away on purpose. But what if it's not personal at all? The source suggests this is a fundamental difference in how men and women often process stress, and it's all explained by something called the cave instinct.
So here's the deal with the cave. It's his internal problem-solving mode. He hits a wall, feels stressed, and the instinct is to retreat and figure it out alone. The author gives a big warning here. Trying to mother him or smother him with pity during this time can seriously backfire. Why? Because it just highlights the weakness he's already trying to solve, and that can feel humiliating. The key is to let him process, and when he's ready, he'll come back out, usually feeling much more connected. Okay, so if trust and space are the structure of the house, what's the fuel that keeps the lights on and the engine running? Well, the source points to two incredibly powerful forces: inspiration and intimacy. The author calls this the muse effect. It's about being more than just a partner. It's about being a partner in his dreams. It means setting goals together, actually saying the words, "I believe in you, you can do this." This is backed up by what the source calls sensory care. You know, a good meal, a massage, simple things that help him relax his analytical mind so he can actually receive that inspiration you're giving him.
And then there's physical intimacy. The source does not pull any punches here. It frames regular intimacy as a core biological need for a man, saying it's his main way of releasing stress and feeling connected. This quote is pretty stark, right? It highlights the author's view that when intimacy is constantly denied, or worse, used as a weapon, it can do serious damage to the relationship.
This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important one. It's the big picture framework that holds all the other pieces together, seeing your relationship as a true partnership of adults. The author introduces this really powerful idea called the parent-child trap. The theory is basically that the roles we unconsciously fall into, parent, child, or adult, pretty much determine the health of our entire relationship. And there's one dynamic in particular that is an absolute killer for desire. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you have the parent-child trap. This is when one partner, often the woman, takes on the parent role, controlling things, giving instructions, taking all the responsibility. The other partner then falls into the child role. And here's the bombshell claim from the source. In this dynamic, sexual desire dies. Why? Because on a subconscious level, the relationship feels incestuous. Yikes. The healthy path, of course, is the adult-to-adult model. Two equals who talk, negotiate, and share responsibility. And that right there is where desire can actually thrive. So we end on this one powerful question for you to think about. According to this framework, understanding the masculine blueprint isn't about changing yourself. It's about consciously choosing the kind of dynamic you want to build together. Thanks so much for joining us.